Hey everyone, this is First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. What a difference 6 hours makes. We've got some big changes to the forecast based on a shift in the track, but it's not just as simple as a shift in the track. It's very easy to say, oh, hey, we went from a 0% impact from Hermine to now maybe a significant impact. It really has a lot to do with multiple things coming together. There's certainly a shift in the track, but we're dealing with a trough, a cold front, and an upper low, all kind of merging and mucking up the whole thing. And let me first start with what's going on with Hermine, because I'm not sold that the center is where we think the center is. This is a loop, and I'm gonna put the center is supposed to be right there where my cursor is, at least with the last advisory. But man, it looks like it's way east of there. And just to kind of illustrate that, these are the current plots. Look where the centers are being plotted versus where the forecast is. The center is supposed to be over here this was the 8 o'clock update. The center is well east of where it was just at 5 o'clock. So we're already on the right side of the cone here, and we haven't even got an update from the Hurricane Center. So that's why it's easy to jump the gun and say, oh, the track's west. This is still a forecast. It hasn't verified. People want to throw you under the bus for something that hasn't happened yet. Wait till it's over and then blame me how bad the forecast was. But tonight's telling me, hey, maybe I was onto something earlier today, because it is shifting to the east. Now, it may not matter, because as you look to the north, we've got the cold front coming down and a trough of low pressure. That is really the problem with this forecast, because even if it shifts to the east, the interaction with this front now is going to be much more widespread rain for our area. So while, yes, Hermine's going to have a bigger impact, it's just not Hermine. It's the cold front and the trough that are going to help cause a lot of the rain. Hermine's going to supply some of the moisture, but the front and the trough could end up doing the heavy lifting. And just to illustrate that, let me show you the actual forecast, because here's the actual track. And again, I'm not a big fan of always putting the track on here, but let me plot it back on here if I can get it to show up. But once the track gets up in this area, it's actually extratropical, which means it's not a tropical system anymore. It means it's a regular low pressure system. That's what makes this forecast particularly difficult, because the visible is one thing. You look at the water vapor, there is that trough and cold front. Look at that thing diving south. We've also got an upper low over here, which is moving into New England. And then we've got Hermine coming up. And what's going to happen is they're all going to meet up right here and become a big old mess, spiraling mess of rain and front, and just, it's a mess. Let's be honest, it's going to be a mess. So that's really what's enhancing the rain. And there's a lot that can still go wrong with this forecast. I actually think the potential to shift to the left or to the right is still there. Now, let me show you the rainfall forecast close up. This is where your forecast peril comes in. Look at this gradient, people. It's 2 inches of rain right now for Charlotte, an inch for Hickory, and a half an inch for Boone. But out here in Rockingham, it's almost 6 inches. So from across our viewing area, we go from a half an inch to 6 inches. Let's say this system moves to the east 25 miles. Or 30 miles, which is almost the width of one county. You go from 2 inches to 1 inch to half inch, depending on where you are. So you're going to drive east and run into a bunch of rain. And that's just not here. That's for all of the southeast. The coast gets hammered, and we're right on the edge. So if this track were to shift, let's say, right now the forecast track is like this, right? What if it shifts a little bit to the east? Now this gradient shifts east as well, and now we're into less rain. So don't just think, hey, everything's changed and now there's still a lot of uncertainty with this forecast. You need to pay attention. There's a lot of changes that could happen with this. And based on what I'm seeing from the recon tonight and this updated plot at 8 o'clock, that the fact that it shifted that far east, boy, this hurricane hunter can't get out there quick enough. He's on his way out there. This was the 5 o'clock advisory, and I think it's shifted even further east of there. So that's it. Certainly, 2 days ago, I thought we'd have a 0% chance of seeing any rain from this. That has gone up big time. But all those changes and further surprises aren't out of the realm of possibility here. We've got 2 days before this really, let's say a day and a half. Tomorrow, not so much. This is a Friday into Friday night event. The weekend, by the way, still perfect. We're not worried about the weekend, except for some showers, maybe early Saturday for your early risers. But it'll be breezy on Saturday and dry now as the system moves away. It's really about Friday. Friday went from an okay kind of showery day to complete washout now. So tune in tonight at 11. I have a sneaky suspicion with this change, and you guys can see it here. I'm not fooling you. This is 5 o'clock. This is where it's supposed to be, and now look where the center is. and look where the clouds are. Look what's going on to the west. So don't be surprised. Sometimes these thunderstorms will grab the low-level circulation and pull it over. So stay tuned to 9/11. I'll have a further update. If you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up on Facebook or Twitter. Still don't change your plans for the beach. This is not going to change the weekend. This really changes Friday. So driving to the beach is not going to be great. Friday looks like a miserable day, but Saturday, Sunday, and Monday are still looking picture perfect. The big boo-boo on my part is going to be about Friday, which yesterday looked like it was going to be okay. Mainly Friday morning would be wet. Now it's an all-day rain into Friday night. So prepare now. High schools, it's going to be soggy. Friday night activities, very soggy. Better for the weekend. I'll see you tonight at 11 on NBC Charlotte.